We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, ensure the blessings of liberty to myself and my to ordain and establish the Constitution of the United States. Part of it.
I am genuinely impressed, Mr. Kaufman. How is it that you know that?
Watch this. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, do ordain, provide for the common defense.
Is this a play I'm missing?
This is Schoolhouse Rock, brother.
Is it?
Yes. Welcome back to Under Oath.
A woman discovered her husband was cheating. You know,
what is it always?
Sometimes women cheat on men too. We should probably put that out there.
Sam has an issue with men cheating. We might have to. Sam, do you have something you want to talk to us about?
Anyway, a woman discovered her husband was cheating. This is the second
woman cheating thing.
And they divorced. He got the house. Well, that's unusual.
No.
So she rented one across the street to get revenge. Every time he brought a new woman home, she'd confront her with proof of his infidelity. The police couldn't intervene because she stayed on public property and posed no threat. Eventually, he couldn't deal with it anymore and sold the house and moved away. Can repeatedly confronting someone's guests be considered harassment?
Yes. Actually, it's called stalking. It's a pattern of, the definition of stalking is a pattern of conduct meant to harass or abuse without a legitimate purpose.
So I'm representing the woman who lives across the street.
Go ahead.
And my defense is going to be, I wasn't harassing him. I don't care about him. I am letting this one particular lady know the first time I see her what he's all about, and then I never talk to her again. It's not my fault he brings 5 different women there a week. I'm not harassing any of those women, and none of my comments are directed to him. So I'm not stalking him, and I'm not stalking them.
You think that the average person wouldn't think it was meant to harass him?
I don't care what the average person thinks.
I do, because that's the jury.
I don't care.
I do.
You can't bring that charge.
Sure I can.
I'll get it dismissed.
No. I'm not suing under criminal charges. I'm suing under civil statute of stalking.
For stalking?
Yes. And other people know the differences between criminal. Damages? My damages are, you are affecting my life. You are harming my reputation.
No, I'm revealing your reputation. I'm not harming it. I'm letting people know what it is.
You're affecting my quiet enjoyment.
I am telling the truth.
You're affecting my quiet enjoyment.
Whoa. That's landlord talk.
No.
Quiet enjoyment, that's landlord talk.
My ability.
I'm allowed to affect your quiet enjoyment of your life by alerting people to the type of scumbag you are, as long as it's true.
The preamble of the Constitution. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, ensure the blessings of liberty to myself and my to ordain and establish the Constitution of the United States. Part of it.
I am genuinely impressed, Mr. Kaufman. How is it that you know that?
Watch this. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, do ordain, provide for the common defense.
Is this a play I'm missing?
This is Schoolhouse Rock, brother.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't see that
I watched enough cartoons.
No, I didn't see that one.
In my U.S. constitutional class, it was the best because they go, we want you to memorize it. And they happen to call my name. I said, can I sing it? And the guy goes, sure. And the minute I sang it, the whole room lost. They go, we all knew it. Okay.
I just saw the I am a Bill.
Do you remember the case I had? It was a big stalking case where guy kind of looked like Dave a little bit.
Yes. He
had those crazy eyes.
You had the video for reaching over.
And he's like, and the woman would, they would throw diapers at each other. They would call each other names and everything else like that. And she would go to his property with a hose and like shoot water directly into his windows. Well, the case was where she would walk up to the thing and throw something over in his, and he knew every time she came close to the property line, she was up to no good. So he also had a problem. He would go to the city council meetings and be that guy who just yells and screams.
Oh, no. Yeah,
so the police hated him. So the first chance they got to get him, they go, oh, he's having problems with the neighbor. The police
we have a reason to arrest him.
The police hid in the bushes for like 5 days, taping him.
In a row?
And yeah.
They're camping there?
They're camped out there.
Okay.
And taping him. And he goes, just walk to, and she knew if she walked to, he knew she was up to no good. So what she was told not to say anything.
So she was baiting him.
She was baiting him.
If I just get close enough, I know he's going to say something.
So he's saying some horrendous crap. he's saying some awful stuff, calling her names, everything else like that. And she's pretending, oh, I'm so offended, everything else like that.
Yeah.
And yelling at somebody across the fence, even though you might have a reason, you're a bad neighbor, everything else like that. Yes, there's an argument to be made. She's going to go, I'm doing it to affect him. Oh, so you moved right across the street to protect every woman I might be dating. Sure, let's go with that. But here's something.
But she actually is doing that.
Craig, and here's something we know about this case that everyone doesn't realize because we have practiced other areas of law. How did he get to keep the house? We know. It was his house.
I don't know how long they were married.
The point is this:
I don't know how
if they
long
both
married.
bought the house, the majority would have had to be his money.
We don't know that. We don't.
Okay.
He could have owned the house before they got married. She'd be entitled to the equity that accrued while they were married.
But they made it sound like he got the house. Why would he get the house?
Because
and we know that
it was either his before they got married,
one,
and he had to buy out the equity to her.
Which that's the day he got the house. It makes it sound like in the divorce he got the house.
Yeah, because not enough equity
had
built
up. It's making it sympathetic towards
her.
her. Oh, he cheated and he got the house.
Right.
We know why he got the house. The fact is, it wasn't her house.
He couldn't have gotten the house if he didn't have more equity.
Exactly. Well, don't confuse
substantially. Like if he owned the house before they were married.
Let's say they bought the house and they've been together like 5 years, and he put like $100,000-$200,000 in the house, and it was all his money
before he ever got married, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The issue in this case is the only way he gets the house is if it was all his money before they got married, not like afterwards he put money into something that they shared.
If they purchased it together, that's a different story. All she's entitled to would be the equity that accrued during the course of the marriage.
So they're trying to make her look sympathetic. That's a cute way to do it by giving us that fact. Well, the fact is this: she's mad he cheated on her, and she's mad for some reason that she didn't get more in the divorce. So she moves across the street to do this. Now, I had a little thing like this. I did. In law school, I dated this person, and the breakup wasn't good. It wasn't cheating. It was just, couldn't be around her anymore. And I moved into a secured building. So I would never have to deal with it again because you can't get into the secured building unless you live there or you're a guest of somebody else. She moved onto my floor. I couldn't do laundry. I had to I would hear a door.
Did she move into your building to harass you?
Onto my floor. The math of it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
I don't know. Is this like University of Florida?
We never had the conversation. We never had the conversation. I never spoke with her after.
Okay.
But I would go to the elevator and she'd give me the crazy eyes. I go, that's not good.
Was she baiting you? Trying to get into a fight?
I don't know what it was, but I was like, I'm not buying it. And and the funny thing is when I opened the door, she would always meet me at the elevator. And I'm going, do you think she waited to hear the door open up? And she does that with everybody there? Or you think her ears got so good she could tell my door was the one opening?
I think you're particularly sensitive to it because of the relationship, so you probably noticed it more. She probably wasn't in the elevator with you any more than anyone else on your floor on average.
She would meet me
but
at the elevator.
You would feel it because of how uncomfortable it was.
Every time I went to the elevator, she was standing there.
Not every time.
Almost
it's impossible. Statistically, it's impossible. There's no way every time.
When she was there, I'm not going to argue, but it would happen a couple times a week. And
that's not a lot.
It was a lot when you don't want to see the person.
Seeing the people who live on the same floor as you a couple times a week, that's not a lot.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Imagine some of the people we let go. Imagine they met us at the elevator a couple times a week.
If they worked on the same floor?
Somehow they decided to rent the place right on our floor. And every time you went to the elevator,
it would be unusual if there's more than one. That's true.
Okay.
But he's not being harassed. He's not. And that's why the police, the police disagree with you because.
I don't care about the police. I'm suing.
You disagree with the police?
Okay.
No stalking.
Okay. Flip the scenario.
He moves in across from her house.
Oh, he going to jail.
Yeah, he's probably going to jail.
Now you're going to hear us, and I want you to know something right now. The issue, some of you listeners are going to say, well, that sounds like a sexist comment. It's the world we live in. We have seen so many criminal cases, and we don't do that anymore, but our careers began in criminal defense. And the totality of the situation is that it's in a domestic violence case or a case that deals with stalking. If both people are involved, the guy is normally going.
If there's
He's normally getting
any
arrested.
possibility that the guy's getting arrested, he's getting arrested.
And remember how easy it was to get a woman off a case where she was the aggressor?
Yes.
Oh my God. The deals we got on those cases.
The prosecutors, we would either drop it or the slightest diversion program. No community service. Just sign this letter saying that you know what you did was wrong and we'll drop the charges, basically.
I had a misdemeanor case and I'm looking at the charges, and the female, the wife, cracked this guy with a skillet in the back of his head, one of those cast iron skillets. I'm like, how is this a misdemeanor? And I remember the husband came in with her to talk about the charges. I'm going,
How she didn't need to be charged with a felony?
And
any crime at all?
Any crime. They dropped it.
Of course they did.
I'm like going, you hit him with a skillet. I became the prosecutor in that case. Are you sure? You sure you don't want to give her more? I was like shocked. I didn't say that, but I was like thinking, wow, this is a world we live in.
Now, you were happy that was going to be an easy case to resolve.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the world we live in. And I think when we deal with these things, we have to pay attention to let's just say the territorial facts that exist. And in a situation like this, you have this woman screaming across the thing. There are other crimes too. It's just not stalking. You could have, what do they call that? When you yell too much in public, what's it called? Public
disturbance?
Public disturbance.
Creating a public disturbance, public nuisance.
Yeah. I mean, the idea, I have a free, and you don't get the freedom of speech. You don't get to say, I can yell as loud as I want, whenever I want. I mean, there are crimes. I guess the fact is, in this case, they go, listen, we don't like it. Move. You don't like the issues between you two. You're wasting our time. You two need to grow up or whatever. And he's like, I did grow up. I got divorced. And she lights me up every time I come out. What he should play like music that really offends her, like loud as he's leaving, and maybe annoy her enough. You know, I'm not
just
saying,
have his lady friends wear earmuffs so they can't hear what she's saying.
Yeah, you know, like sweet, you know, some of that.
He can park in the garage, close the garage.
I like to play like Barry White real loud. So, hey, dun dun dun. It's so stupid. This is where I get honest with our listeners. Once you see so much crazy stuff, you have to find some humor in it. Because if you don't, it'll just bury you. So we take this stuff very seriously. But at the same time, you know, we have to appreciate the absurdity of some of the nonsense that crosses our table. As far as this person goes, I will give her the same advice I give to everybody when we used to do divorce cases. Do you just want to spend years being unhappy? And I would give that same advice to men and women.